Welcome to CNE Here, where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy Nikki Tay.
And today we are reviewing Dr. Sleep.
Directed by Mike Flanagan, starring Ewan McGregor, Rebecca Ferguson, Kylie Curran, and Cliff Curtis. Dr. Sleep, the sequel to Stanley Kubrick's 1980 film, The Shining. That in itself is big shoes to fill, right? The Shining is probably one, if not the most classic, legendary, iconic horror movie ever made. And I have to say this fact right off the bat, right? Stephen King originally hated that movie.
Yes, he did.
He hated the movie. He didn't like Stanley Kubrick. He thought the idea of him directing his movie was terrible. But over the years, he has grown to like that movie. I won't say love. Like that movie because he recognizes how iconic it is. So when they said we are going to follow up and do the sequel book, Dr. Sleep, which Stephen King published in 2013. Look at that, right?
That's crazy.
He said, we're going to do this film and we want to do it right. I said, okay, I love Stephen King. I remember the last movie outside of the It's that I saw was Pet Sematary, and I said, that wasn't it. No disrespect to Stephen King. He's a master, right? But people get a hold of these movies and sometimes they butcher them,
Yeah.
Everybody can't be an It, right? Everybody can't be a Misery, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'm all in. It's Stephen King every time. I can never not see a Stephen King movie. What I also found out before we went to go see this movie is that not only did Stephen King give his blessing on this film, but the estate of Stanley Kubrick also blessed this film. So going in today, I said, yeah, this movie got to be it. And it is. Oh my God, this movie is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I kind of just want to keep going. Like, can I just keep cooking? I would say, and I want to get my negatives of this film out the way right away, because honestly, there aren't too many negatives. I think this is nigh a flawless movie, specifically a flawless sequel. You know how tough that is to do a sequel that is as good, if not better, than the original film, specifically when that film is The Shining, right?
That sounds better than Shining.
I'm not saying that, but I could get into some arguments where I could say, it has this, right? I'm only saying I can argue it. I'm not saying it's fact. But the point I was making is that this film is nigh perfect, but the negatives are length. At 2 hours and 31 minutes, this is a long movie. Do I feel the length through the film? No. I thought I was thoroughly entertaining. All 2 hours and 31 minutes, but it will keep me from going back. And the second small thing is that we know damn well those people don't look like the original people from the movie. Like, am I getting a Jack Nicholson? Am I getting a Shelley Duvall? Am I getting a Danny Lloyd? No. And I know what you're thinking. Jack Nicholsons don't fall off trees. Well, damn it, find me a Jack Nicholson. So I want some people that actually look like the original people, more so than they did. They weren't bad. They weren't terrible. But I was at one point in the movie, I was like, damn, if they could have made this sooner and we could have had like a sequel that existed with the Shining characters, I would even be happier. But other than that, this movie, absolutely amazing.
You said a lot.
I said a lot.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough to follow.
Woo!
But let me say this. Let me go into a different direction. Okay?
I'm excited. I'm excited like I was in this movie. Like, where you going?
Let me go into a different
You're shining right now.
Let me just let the people know, right, that you do not have to watch the original Shining to watch this movie. Is that safe to say? I don't think that you have to watch the original movie to watch this movie.
Can I say this?
Okay.
Watching the original one improves the viewing experience of this one.
Yes, but you don't need to.
Fair.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need to. This movie can be watched by somebody that has never watched The Shining. And I think that's important because everybody doesn't want to watch older movies. It is what it is. I'm not that kind of person.
Crazy.
But everybody don't want to watch them.
It's crazy to me.
It is crazy, but I can understand it. And to make a movie in 2019 that can still be watched even without watching the first one, I think deserves credit in itself. Right?
Absolutely.
The big thing that this movie does very, very well, better than a lot of other sequels, is pay homage to the original. It does such a good job at paying homage to the original. Even some of the scenes near the third act of the movie literally are almost shot for shot based off the original movie The Shining, but done in a different way because, you know, the time of day and all that. But the people that watch The Shining will recognize that and enjoy seeing things like that. This movie was exactly what you would have wanted from a Shining remake. And that's so tough to do. It's so tough to do, to take a classic movie and give you a sequel, not even a reboot. At least in a reboot, you have your opportunities to build on other things that you enjoyed about the movie and put your own spin on them. But in a sequel, you have to go off the first one and build on top of that. And that's such a tough thing to do. And it was done in such a respectful way, in a great way. And it also opens the door to more movies down the line. And I do want to see that. And I'm going to get a little long-winded like you.
Yeah, go ahead.
For a guy that liked magic and mystical things, this was so much down my alley. I loved it. And I was trying to think of movies like this, right? Because The Shining didn't focus on the shine, right? Not as much as this movie did. Like he didn't.
The Shining, yeah.
He didn't open up into his box of powers. Like,
but
like he did in it was crazy.
This is crazy.
It was crazy. So I was trying to think of a movie, a scary movie, that was similar to this. And I couldn't really come up with none.
Really?
I could come up with like TV shows like American Horror Story. The Covenant kind of gave me the same sort of feel.
Ooh,
and maybe like a scary version of Inception. But that's it. I'm just making up stuff. I'm just throwing my own little stuff out there because this movie is nothing like most other things, at least off the top of my head. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it, as well as what can possibly go on in the future.
I liked everything you said, and I just want to add some sauce to it. The film did a great job at tying back to The Shining, like you said, paying homage in the best ways possible. I got scenes, I got callback references, lines, even direct quotes. I'm like, oh my God, it is literally everything. But not only does it do a good job at tying back to the film, it also does a pretty good job at tying back to the book. Like I said, the book was published in 2013. At that time, I was knee-deep in college, so I wasn't reading that much. But I did research enough of the book to basically get a feel for what the story was. And I was like, oh, this sounds great. Like, I would love to see this on the big screen. Another reason I was excited for this film. And the movie actually does do a lot of what was in the book. Now, of course, the ending is a bit different. You know, they got to put some movie touches on it. But in terms of having to support not only the 1980 film, but also Stephen King's original novel, I think we got the best of both worlds in this film. I can't see too many people who absolutely read the book say, oh, this is terrible, it's nothing like it, like this shouldn't, and I can't see people who saw the original film and says like, yeah, where did this go? I don't understand it. It is the perfect marriage of both, and it's just so amazing. And to Mike Flanagan, the director, who's done movies like Hush and Gerald's Game, the TV show The Haunting, was it on Hill House? Mm-hmm. And then also, I think the prequel to the Ouija board movie, which is actually the good one. The original one is not good. The prequel is good. This guy knows his horror movies. And Hush and Gerald's Game, which should still both, I think, be on Netflix, are also two solid watches that you basically got for free if you already are a Netflix person, right? And to see him now come to the big screen with a blockbuster-like movie and deliver this kind of level of quality is exciting for his career, because now
it's the second Stephen King movie. Gerald's
It is, yeah, exactly. Because Gerald's Game was his first Stephen King movie, so he definitely has an affinity for Stephen King. He's delivering on the horror, and it's good to see people like Jordan Peele and Mike Flanagan and Ari Aster, who did Midsommar and Hereditary. Like, this is now the kind of director we're getting, this horror thriller director, and it is cleaning up at the box office, which means every movie, the style of movie that I like, that's what's going to take over, and I'm here for it. Shout out to you guys.
And let me say my only negative for the movie, I didn't speak about my only negative, is that, I guess it's like a positive as well. Let me say my positive first. The musical score in this movie is fantastic.
Oh my God. It's like Stanley Kubrick was there. I'm like, yeah, this is so good. Is this Space Odyssey?
Oh, like, the heartbeat. Every time the heartbeat came, the build of it was done so flawless.
Masterfully.
It was amazing. But that leads me into my negative, right? This movie, very unsettling, but it wasn't as scary as I As I would like.
That's fair.
It wasn't as scary as I would like.
I think your standard might be
A little high?
Yeah, I think it's a little high for this, right? Because you got to think about it too. The Shining, like Stanley Kubrick wanted to take the approach for The Shining to not do any jump scares.
Yeah.
He wanted everything to be a slow build, suspenseful. In this movie, while it did have some jump scares, 'cause I was trying to look for them, like when would I actually jump? It takes the same approach.
Yeah.
Which,
it does.
which for most people, isn't scary.
It
Like
does.
you need that surprise factor every now and then to get you like a little
I'm
round.
with you. Absolutely. I'm not saying that as a big negative. I'm just saying that I would have preferred just a tad bit more
I ain't mad at that.
horror elements.
I ain't mad at that.
Horror elements.
Yeah.
But let's get into what the people came to hear. Let's rate this movie, okay? So this movie, to me, right? Like I always specify that, to me, was the best Stephen King adaptation since Misery, right?
Better than it.
Yes.
That's a hot take. Like we might need to start better than it. Okay.
I think it was better.
I like where you're going.
I was thoroughly engaged in this movie, almost to the point to where I was literally talking to the screen at one point, like, just do it, like that's how engaged and immersed I was in this world. Like I said, think about the things I named. I said Inception. Like it gave me that thought process when I was watching this movie. Like, what do I compare this to? Like, where am I going with this? And it had that level in it. I would love to see more directors and writers even write stories similar to this in this style. I would have to give this movie a 9.3. I think this movie was fantastic, and I think it's worth more than one watch, especially if you like Stephen King projects.
I'm happy. Like no need for the cut. Like I'm right into it. I'm happy with what you gave it. I also like what you said. I like the hot take. Best Stephen King movie since Misery. Misery is probably easily one of my favorite Stephen King movies until I saw It. And I agree. Dr. Sleep passes It for me. And It is a great film. No knock to It. But this is how masterful this movie is. And you got to keep the context that it's a sequel, right? Which leads me to my hot take, all right? Because I didn't go the route like, what movie does this remind me of? I said, if this sequel is this amazing, what other sequel could this be better than? Because I was like, immediately, this is probably the best live action sequel I have ever seen, right? And it got me thinking, what other sequel is really good? The Godfather. I'm not even gonna give you a chance. Godfather Part 2, easily a sequel that's better than its original, right? This is in that same class. I'm not saying it's better than The Godfather. I am saying you have a original movie and its sequel that both can be argued to be very good. Hot take. The best live action sequel since Godfather Part 2, easily. For me, this movie is a 9.6. Best movie I've seen all year, hands down. And I can't believe you even said something you never say. Go back and see it again. Absolutely. I'm going back to see it Friday because this movie gave me something in scenes that I've never seen before, and the idea of expanding this world. I want Stephen King to make a third book so I can get a third movie. I'm going to go to Twitter after this review is over and tell him, yes, I need Dr. Sleep Part 2, I need Abracadabra, whatever you want to name it. Like, I need all of it. I need all of the steam, all of the smoke, whatever was coming out of it, I need it.
Like, this is what we wanted from Star Wars.
Oh my.
Like this feeling we got now.
Oh my God.
This is what we wanted from Star Wars, right? In the same vein, like redoing something over again and giving us that same original feeling.
Yeah, and it just ain't get there, but it's different, right? It's different when you got Disney touching it. Disney gonna put their magic on it. But when you get these horror thriller directors, it's a different emotion, right? And it can operate in a different space, take different risks. And Dr. Sleep took all the right risks for all the right rewards. That completes the review of Dr. Sleep. Boy, I feel like after this last, month and a half, I'm being spoiled at the movie theaters. This, Joker, Zombieland 2, Black and Blue was mild. I'm just getting everything I want at the movie theaters. Hell, I'll even throw Gemini Man in there. Like, I'm getting what I want, on this late fall winter kick. The spring summer solstice was going crazy.
Summer was wild.
Summer's wild, but spring summer solstice. When we did almost a transition, we was getting the Endgames, the Toy Stories, the Lion King, and now I'm getting the Dr. Sleeves and the Jokers. I'm very excited. I want to know how you guys like this film. If you love The Shining, let us know. If you love Dr. Sleep, let us know. Let us know if you agree with the hot takes. Very hot takes.
Let me say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this not the best year for horror movies?
Yeah, this year has been
Us,
absolutely nutty.
It,
Us, It, Midsummer, I think, came out this year.
Dr. Stone.
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
Joker, not really a horror, but it kind of is
It's in
that kind of vein. This year for horror movies has been absolutely amazing, you know. I wish Slender Man came out this year. Bye man, both of them. Anytime you got a man in a horror movie, it's bad. That's why it's Dr. Sleep. Let us know how you feel about it. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Stay up to date with all of our reviewing content by hitting that little bell notification button. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here. Like, you need to see it in the movie theater. Dr. Sleep. Go see it.